positioning of the foot, because your patients are going to be some short, some tall. The knee joint should be lined up here with this joint. We're gonna put them in these straps and we're gonna send it into flexion and see where we're at. Yeah, it's a mess. Okay. Audrey, you ought to get up here and roll them through it. And the positioning and little tips and tricks that you've learned. They have it set for 8 extension and 85 flexion.
So, do you haven't used these before?
No, I went out ready. I had my first knee and I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna put them on a CPM, and they were like, oh no, don't do that.
Why don't they use them anymore?
Because look, she says the insurance won't pay for it. Insurance won't pay for it because there's not enough proof that says it does enough good to be worth the time and money that it takes to set it up.
What'd you need?
8 extension, and 85 flexion.
85, okay.
But I mean, as far as positioning goes, was there anything that you looked for or made sure that?
Just had their foot in a more neutral position,
Okay.
not plantar flexion,
Right.
dorsiflexion. So,
Tightened up there so good? Alright.
and then this goes right
On the
through.
knee, right through the knee.
So I'd probably drop their knee a little bit further down because it looks like it's going through here and here. I think I'd probably bring it to where these bolts are so that it's right through the mid-patella.
Okay. So that's the here. So you'll pull
Pull it up a little bit, right?
push it down. Or pull it up.
The other way.
Okay.
No, the other way. You want it this way. Okay, that looks good right there.
And then we have here, we can change the length here as well
Yeah.
to push it in or to pull it out a little bit.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
she's set, Jeff.
Yep, she's set.
All right, y'all wanna come on up this way a little bit? Let's talk about how this is supposed to be positioned and how you move things around. All right, now she is exactly here. Well, let's strike her privacy. All right, she is set up exactly how she needs to be. Her foot is in neutral. These knobs here control that, so you can move these out and it moves this that way. If you loosen these knobs here, it's going to pull out and lengthen the lower leg, okay? And then these here up top, they're going to move this way and they're going to lengthen the upper leg. Now you want these two big knobs right here where your flexion is to run dead center right through the knee. And like Miss Audrey said, the parameters are going to be either protocol or given to you by a doctor, okay? So once you have all that set up for this machine, you press extension and stop at the same time to set it. Let's do that. Okay, so then you have 2 arrows that point over to extension, EXT, right there. You use these arrows to go up and down to get to where you want. Now on our scenario, we have 8 degrees of extension, which is set right here on this side. I'm done with that, so I click flexion, which is right underneath it, and then I can set it by moving the arrows up and down here, okay? You have the pause extension and flex extension. Those aren't written in with our parameters, but what that would do is say you're gonna go to this much flexion, you're gonna pause for this many seconds, you're gonna move back into this extension, you're gonna pause for this many seconds, instead of it actually being that continuous movement. But the way we have it set up right now is it's going to flow down into extension, back into flexion, and then back down again.
How do we set the 45 cycle?
So that's right here. So you have a force here. It's set at 40 kp. That's where we're going to leave that. And then the speed, you have 1%, which is low, all the way to 100%, which is high, and we have it set on 45%. Okay, that's how fast we want to go with it. So that's all the parameters.
So
there.
45% correlates to like 45 seconds. Okay.
All right. So now that they're ready to rock, we're going to press start. It's so hard to tell if they're actually moving with it. I didn't do it.
There it goes. It's going.
Woo. But it's such a slight movement that it's hard to kind of see when it goes. We're going to take this off so we can see. Now, these have to be set kind of loose. This one might actually be too tight because you're going into flexion. All right. Set it a little loose. You don't want the legs to move. Yeah. Still going.
You want that knee to be going like that outside.
Man, it's a little tough with peg, but no, you want it to stay. You do not want it bending that way. So when we get it back in flexion, we may have to lengthen the top part.
So you want the knee completely straight?
Well, I mean, you don't want it to bend it to one side, right, Miss
Right,
Audrey?
you
I mean,
want
like
it-
you want it to, it's good, it should bend straight up, but it's gonna look different though too with a person in here.
That's what I'm saying. Okay.
So you'll have to just adjust the straps to get it in the position that you want. And those straps are not, they look like they didn't even come with that.
These do not.
Yeah.
I guess one of the sheep wool ones got lost along the way somewhere.
Shout out to Slater or whatever
Robert.
Oh, yeah.
Robert.
I was south.
Last name was it.
Yeah, it was Robert.
See, now she's all backed up again. We might actually have to put you in it
Especially if
though,
they're sleeping.
to get it.
It might be better anyway, to show
They
them
want plenty.
a real live person setup.
Well, the one reason I wanted to do this with them is so we could troubleshoot anything they might encounter during their lab test. Is it gonna keep going here? There we go, there it's going again. Let's pause it. Let me give it a little bit. See, I thought that we had, I thought it came with something that kind of cupped it a little bit better than this.
Usually
I
there's
didn't
a
see it.
heel.
Well, that's what,
So I don't
I don't know.
So, quick question.